Welcome back to the Breakfast Express show this morning. It's time for us to take a quick peep into the newspapers to see what they're going to be serving us for breakfast. And this morning, I want to start with the good news. You know, someone called yesterday, very concerned media practitioner, saying that, we should look for the good ones, among the stories and highlight them before it's a newspaper review, we didn't write the paper, so we have to bring these things
We
to the
don't have a
fore. We
choice.
don't have a
We can't
choice.
fabricate the
We
headlines.
exactly, but just to make him comfortable and to make him happy and to make him know that we are listening and we're always here to make an attempt to make everyone happy. We will be starting with the good news. Okay, so the good news from the Punch newspaper on the Punch newspaper this morning: Tinubu to review state police bill on September 3rd. I think that's a good thing. Everyone knows that we have been clamoring, for state police. I mean, decades ago. I mean, it's something that we know we need. Yes, it has its disadvantages, and there's no underestimating that, especially because of the kind of peculiar set of people that we are as Nigerians, but it's always, good to weigh the pros and the cons, and for me, it's obvious that we need state police. And if the president is about to review the state police bill on September 3rd, which is, just next door, just like tomorrow, I think that's a very good thing. And, it gives a lot of people, more hope, that things will get better. We know that this country has been, plagued with insecurity, all sorts in all presenting itself in all sorts of ways, So if we have a state police, every state has its police. I believe that things will be looking up, and we'll be dropping the numbers in terms of crime. So I think it's a good thing. I don't know what Okwe thinks. Okwe?
Well, it's a good thing. Whatever it is that anyone who brings up that secures the Nigerians, which is the principal responsibility. I know that the establishment of the state police does not end our security problems. And that's what I want
Certainly not.
Nigerians to
Yeah.
know. That the establishment of the state police, the coming on board of the state police, the decentralization of the police structure, people owning their police, policing becoming closer to the people, does not in any way end our security challenges. What it does is that it gives us a direction. It allows us to know what we are really fighting. If this is really about, insecurity or religious ideology, I think having a state police is a major step to outlining our security challenges. Because if you look at what we have on ground, too, we're not just battling insecurity in banditry or kidnappings alone. We have religious extremism. Remember,
That's
just a
true.
couple of months ago, a community in Kwara State was attacked by extremists and I wanted to, force a different kind of Islamic practice on the people, and they rejected it. And those attackers came from dusk till dawn, and they slaughtered over 200 people. So we're not just dealing with kidnappers alone. We're not just dealing with cattle rustlers alone. We're not just dealing with herdsmen alone. We're also dealing with extremists. We are dealing with ideologies that does not in any way find itself suitable enough in Nigeria's, geographical setup. So having the state police gives us a direction and okay, let us even solve this major security first. Let us make sure that banditry stops. Let us make sure that kidnapping stops. Then we can now look at the fact that, okay, because at some point, you think we've won the battle against religious extremism. You think we've won the battle against Boko Haram. You remember all of the criminals that we have here, they're not all Boko Haram members. Do you understand?
Yep.
Boko Haram, yes, some of them are also, diverted into criminality and all of that. But a whole lot of them are still hell-bent on imposing their religious beliefs on certain people, on certain communities, hoisting flags, trying to establish a government within a government. Do you understand? So we have those ones that we are combating. We have the regular armed robbers on the highways that they just want to rob. They are not even abducting. They are not kidnapping people. So establishing state police gives us that direction that we have a multifaceted challenge that we are dealing with. But at least let us take this major step. Even though I'm always feeling like we are moving at a pace where I feel we should move faster. Because when we wanted to review the national anthem, we didn't go this way, right? When we wanted to, review the Electoral Act 2022, amended in 2026, it wasn't this slow. When there's appropriation of salaries and review of the earnings of political class, we don't always take it this slow. Do you understand? So I also, yes, there are structural, there are structures that have to be put in place, but let us make it clear that, listen, we have 15 weeks, we have 52 weeks, we have so and so time that by that time, we want to have a full-fledged, well-equipped, financed, sponsored, and structured state policing system whereby you can own your police. And, when one of the guests that joined us last week, I think is Alaji, I'll try and remember, he was talking about the fact that one of the advantages of state police is domesticating the structures of police in terms of men and officers. So, we're not saying Nigeria should not integrate. Beautiful idea. We're not saying Abdul should not be, or maybe Mohammed Yahya should not be the commissioner of police in Oyo State. Is allowed. And that's where we are as a structure at the moment. We've seen Yoruba people become commissioner of police in Plateau State. We've seen Igbo become commissioner of police in Sokoto State. But what we are saying is this. Every crime we agree is local. And the biggest intelligence you can get has to come from the people. So you have to understand the fiber of communication that grows and thrives amongst the people. We're not saying you cannot function, but we're talking about language. We're talking about understanding the culture and the dynamics of the community where you are operating as a police officer. You can know people. You understand? You have peer reviews. You have people you grew up together. And then you're a police officer and you know this person's father. And then you see him committing a crime. Even if you cannot catch him, you can go and tell the father that, Baba, I saw some criminals, and your son is part of them. He's my friend. We grew up together. So having that knowledge of everything that happens around you, your ability to spot unknown faces, suspicious movements, and those are the things that the state police comes with. Yeah, there could be the conversation around, it could be hijacked, the structure could be this, political class can hijack it. Are they still not hijacking the police structure as we speak? Are we not seeing complaints from governors saying that the commissioner of police in that state is not cooperating with them? You have to, it's life. There would always be reasons to weigh the pros and the cons. You have to just evaluate which is best for you. You have to evaluate which suits your narrative. And I think the state police gives us an extra mile in terms of the pace at which we have to end this security. So I'm happy that the president wants to be very proactive about it. I like what the National Assembly did, especially the House of Reps. They decided not to debate their own anymore. They adopted the executive bill that was forwarded by Mr. President. So let's assume that they think that everything Mr. President had brought up is good. That's why they adopted Mr. President's own. So I think for me, it's a major, major development. We have money now. We say we have made over 24 trillion from crude oil sales in 2026 alone. And let us pump in this money somewhere. Let us use it to secure the people.
Well, you've spoken very well. Yes, I know that we should treat this. We shouldn't be treating this with kids' gloves. But let's look at the good side of it.
Of course.
For the benefit of good people who want to hear good things, I think it's a good thing. But and yeah, kudos to Mr. President. But we're asking for more. Oliver Twist will always ask for more. If we can hasten this thing, because we know that it's a thing of emergency, like Okwe said, it's not going to get rid of crime completely, but it's going to help, in a whole lot. It will help a whole lot. I mean, there's no ruling that out. We actually need state policing ASAP. We need it like yesterday. So, Mr. President, this one's on you. We're asking you to please, speed up that review. And it's not even about the review. Let these things start to happen. And as I love Okwe's way of qualifying it, well-funded, well-equipped, everything that goes with, state policing at the highest level. I mean, please make this happen. Make it possible ASAP. Okay. 2027, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi weigh ex-governors for campaign DG roles. I'll take the rider to that story, and then I'll just put it on the table for Okwe to dissect. Uzodima Al Makura Tambua among frontrunners for presidential campaign DGs. INEC opens 2027 presidential campaign on August 19th. This is an official one. The official.
I said that I could have taken that out of your mouth. I knew you were going to add that particular one.
Now, this is the official one. The official campaign, will be opened on the 19th of August
2026.
2026. Okay, yes, 2026. Obi may pick campaign DG from Southwest. Now, the final rider to that story, APC, ADC, NDC to unveil presidential campaign team next week. Okay, you know that the part that I would like to pick out first is the one I already spoke about. I don't understand. Campaign is supposed to officially break on the 19th of August,
Sure.
but we've been campaigning since like 2 years ago. I've said this on the table. Fair is fair, really. I mean, this game has not been fair. Gives me an inkling as to what may happen, come the elections in 2027. Doesn't make me feel comfortable like that. So what are we going to do about it? What is INEC saying about it? Has INEC seen anything wrong? In INEC's own eyes, they're going to break campaign. Hello? Okay. I don't understand. I don't quite understand. Anyway, let me not take us away from the banner headline.
Well, it's going to be very interesting, actually. People always say that, governors don't get more than one PVC. Governors don't have more than one PVC, especially when we talk about the fact that in 2003, the PDP government under former President Olusegun Obasanjo went into that election with almost the same number of governors that Tinubu has now, about 32 state governors, and absolute control of both the green and the red chambers. I'm talking about the Senate and the House of Representatives. Now, so when we tell people that political structures, and so we need to get it straight. First off, whatever we say on this show, this space is not an emotional bank. It's a place where numbers are put on the table. It's a place where conversations are put on the table. So it's not about, they are playing politics. No. The governors hold the ace in terms of structures and the numbers in their states. You can't deny that fact. There's a reason why the political parties decided to hand over the leadership structure of their state into the hands of the state governors. Because the state governors are in charge of the security architecture in the state. They're in charge of the funds in the state. They can decide who gets what, when, why, and where at every single electoral period. So when the president started hunting, and I'm very, very intentional with the word I use, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu started hunting governors and pulling them into APC, a lot of people didn't understand what was coming. He poached Akwa Ibom, he poached Bayelsa, Adamawa State, Taraba, which other one again? Delta State. They won Edo State. They have Ondo State. At the moment, the APC is going into the 2027 election with 32 state governors. In fact, those that are not in the APC had already sworn their loyalty to the governor, to the president. Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State had already said APGA will not field a presidential candidate. They understand that he's going to be supporting the president. The governor of Osun State, Governor Adeleke, had also said that he's going to be supporting the president. At different times, you've seen the governor of Abia State, His Excellency Alex Oti, waxing lyrics about the performance of Mr. President. So you can almost say that maybe the entire political structure is actually behind Mr. President's second-term ambition. And because these governors are I don't want to say they are like a cult group. They are like a syndicate. They know each other. They know each other's strengths. They know each other's weaknesses. So if you are looking at the governor, the presidency, or all of the presidential candidates considering former governors as their campaign DGs, it is significant. Very significant for them. In fact, in 2023, the then governor of Plateau State Senator Simon Bakola Long, Right Honorable Simon Bakola Long, was the campaign DG of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's election. Even though he lost his state, yes, Peter Obi won the presidential election in Plateau State. PDP won the governorship election in the state. By the way, the PDP candidate has now also decamped to the All Progressive Congress. But there's a reason why former governors or serving governors are always hot cakes as DGs. First off, they have funds to throw around. Especially now that it has never been this good for state governors. I'm sure some former governors will be thinking that, why did I not become governor this time? Where governors are now getting times 3, times 4, times 5 of what they used to earn. Taraba State at some point, the highest they ever got from Foundation account was 1.7 billion in a month. Taraba State is getting 8 billion. That's why Adu Kefas carried his bag and went to the All Progressive Congress. So if the presidency is considering having governors or former governors as their campaign DG, they have a reason. Because they know that as a sitting governor, you have the entire structure of the state right at your beck and call. That is when you will see that commissioner of police actually obey governors. It is only during election. That is why in some cases, they always bring commissioners, they always change commissioners on the eve of election. Because there are commissioners that their special duty is to supervise the election. Those ones would obey the governor. Those ones that the ones that governor will say, oh, this is the strength of us as a party, this is the strength of our opponent as during election. Do you understand? So at that moment, go and check. 80% of states, especially those ones that run isolated election or circle elections, they always change their commissioner of police on the eve of election. Remember, we asked Mr. Jami Omoni on Friday. That's actually
a common thing.
We asked Mr. Jami Omoni on Friday to confirm if the commissioner of police in Osun State has been changed. And I'm sure that if he has not been changed, because we've not gotten an official communication to that respect, he will definitely be changed. Because there are special commissioners that they have special duties, which is election, is as good as that. So when the presidency is looking at former governors or serving governors, if you look at the names there's Amakura, the former governor of Nasarawa State. There's Hope Uzodinma, the chairman of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors team, the chairman of the APC Progressive Governors Forum, a second-term governor in Imo State, and a senatorial candidate. There's a twist in Imo State. Hope Uzodinma's tenure does not end until 2018. Remember, he had his off-cycle elections in November 2023. So his tenure does not end until 2018. But he has already won the ticket for his senatorial district in hand as the candidate of the APC. So he's going to participate in the January 2027 election as a sitting governor and as a senatorial candidate. So if he wins in the Senate, he will probably have to resign, and then his deputy will now become governor. Because he's going to the Senate as a returning senator, and there are possibilities that he could be the next Senate president. Do you understand? So there's a reason why governors are being... See, you cannot take it away from them. We may not like it. Like I said, this is not an emotional bank. It's a table where the facts are labeled out.
Laid down.
Clearly laid out. There's a reason why ex-governors are hot cakes. Why ex-governors are being considered as party chairmen. I mean, APC gave Adam to show
their ex-governors and their ex-governors.
No, I know where you are going to. I know where I'm going to. There are certain ex-governors that have gone into political oblivion. The moment they left office, they always say that once you leave power, power leaves you. And that's what we have. But you look at the names that we have on this, look at the names that are being listed. These guys they're huge in the political space. Look at, it was yesterday when I needed to do something on Senator Oji Uzor-Kalu, the senator representing Abia North Senatorial District, that I now clicked on me that Oji Uzor-Kalu was a class of 1999. Whoa. He was President Tinubu's mate as governor. He served from 1999 to 2007 as governor of Abia State. He brought Theodore Oji to replace him. He went to the Senate. He replaced Theodore Oji at the Senate. And he's been at the Senate till now. Little wonder is always supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because they were colleagues. They were part of the 1999 set. How many members of that 1999 set are still relevant politically till today? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. So if the president is thinking that, you know what? I have to look for former governors. You understand? They have money to spend.
Yeah.
So when people say, governors don't have more than one PVC, it's understandable. But when it comes to making decisions on an election period, the governors own their state. You remember in 2011, when PDP won the entire Southwest, right?
Yeah.
Aregbesola said something that he would never allow Jonathan to win Osun State.
Osun State.
Even Lagos here, that has a presidential candidate in Malam Nur Ribadu, SC then, Action Congress then. PDP won Lagos. You see Osun, Aregbesola insisted that Jonathan would never win Osun State, and he didn't win Osun State.
Do you think Aregbesola will be saying the same thing now?
You
For
know,
the same party.
all the you know, politics is a very interesting game. Do you understand? One moment you're up there, you are the king of kings. You feel like you're untouchable. You are just there. So sometimes when you see politicians fighting to remain in office, it is not because they've not stolen enough money.
Yeah.
It is not because they don't have enough money. But you see that thing called power. Do you understand? That's why they said power corrupts. And absolute power corrupt absolutely. When you have that power, do you understand? When you have that power, you have control. You can have money and not have power. But you see, when you have power, every other thing follows. I always tell people, why do you think Nigerian politicians will spend billions to run for political offices? Apart from the fact that they know they will make those monies back, but they know that with power, being governors, everyone is at their beck and call. I've related with aides to Mr. Governors that don't believe in the ideology of their principal. But they picked up appointments. Do you understand? When you see them, they are like this to
They're
the governors.
humble.
But when you leave that circle and you're engaging them, the kind of thing they say about their principals knows that they don't believe in the ideology of that governor. But because the governor knows that when he stands up, everybody stands up. When he's driving, they stop traffic. They stop this one. They close road as the president. Do you understand? So most of the political structures we have in this country, they want power at all costs. Tell me why somebody will sell his wife's car, sell his father's house, go to bank and borrow loan just to contest an election. Is that how passionate he is about serving the country?
No, it's an investment. There'll be a return.
Because there has to be ROI.
Yes, now.
And that ROI comes with power.
Yes, now.
Do you understand? That return on investment comes with power. So you feel like when you wake up and then you stand up, they sing the national anthem for you. You know, I've always said Nigerian politicians are the most revered in the world when we're in this country. I've seen a lot of them carry public train when they travel out of the country. But when they step into this country, if possible, they tell people to lie down, that they should be walking on them. Do you understand?
It's a different
So
ballgame.
that's what everybody is looking forward to. And you can also not rule out calculations in every election. Do you understand? Tinubu is thinking, I'm a Southwesterner. I can keep my home. My running mate is a Northerner, a former senator, former governor. He can keep his home. Where do I need to build up momentum? Southeast. So you are beginning to say, who are the most influential APC politicians in the Southeast? You look at Hope Uzodinma, right? If someone like Senator Rochas Okorocha was still in the fold, it's someone you can also look. If someone like Chris Ngige was still in the fold, it's someone you can also look. So politicians don't make decisions based on just wake up and say, no
emotion. Everything is calculated to the last.
Emotions are out of the window.
I mean, and if there's a miss or a near miss,
they know it cost them.
It's going to be very
They know the
costly.
consequences of that.
Extremely.
So you are thinking, if I pick a running mate that is from the northeast, Nasarawa State is north central, Almakura.
It's a lot of mental work. Oh.
You see, when somebody said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not sleep until 3 a.m., I don't doubt sometimes.
I'm serious. No, but it's the truth.
Ha!
You know, I once worked with you know, even though it was a private establishment, but it was owned by a governor, you know, a sitting governor. And, you know, as members of the board, we used to have our meetings like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You are
good.
And it was no joke. You had to be at the meeting. I mean, as a board member.
So there was a friend of mine, or a senior friend of mine, was the chief press secretary to one of the youngest governors in the history of this country. And anytime she wants to reply my message, maybe I want to schedule for an interview and everything, she replies around 3 a.m. And so I told her one day when we saw, I was like, wait, why are you replying at this time? She said, that's when our job finishes. 3 a.m. That's when I'm just, because she's always the last person to see the governor.
And let me tell you something. And you see, when we have our meetings, he's coming out from one meeting.
To join you people.
To join us.
And some people are waiting.
That's it.
It's most likely go back into another meeting.
And when we are leaving, there's another group of people that are waiting to have a meeting. And then you start to, and that's why, I had to leave honorably. You know me, I don't like stress. Anything that is harder than banana, according to the Yorubas, I don't want it. I don't like, I couldn't do it anymore because my children were in university at the time and they still needed me. And, my son came home for about a week.
And
I hadn't
you didn't see
seen
him.
him. And he sent me a message. He said, Mommy, I've been home for 1 week.
I've not seen
And
you.
we've not been able to talk. That day, that
You
same
knew
day,
you had to
I
make the
didn't know.
sacrifice.
I said, I threw in the towel. I said, I'm
done.
choosing my home.
I'm done.
And honestly, I know what was offered to me
So stay back.
to stay back. But I said, I'm leaving. I'm opting out.
Sometimes when we discuss with female politicians, it's a mission for me to make sure that we have a greater representation for women and not just hand out to them. Contest a proper election and beat men. They can say that I defeated that man as a senator. I like that feeling. So for every single time we have conversation around female representation, and I'm like, can you do meetings at 2 a.m.? Will your husband be at home and he knows that you are meeting some stakeholders in Abuja and from Kogi at 3:30 a.m.? Those are some of the limitations that are pushing the women representation back.
Yes.
Because some of the meetings, the election decisions that are not even taken in this country. That are not taken in this country. So they will say the president is in Paris. And then some governors went to pay a visit to the president. They were the one that escorted the president at the airport. They will line up, they will wave at the president. He will go to London. They will still go and greet him in London. That greeting is not greeting. No. They've gone to make some permutations right there. That's why they will say the president had a closed door meeting with governors in London. I said, but they were the one that waved you at the airport. Do you understand? That is how Nigerian political space is structured. So when these leading candidates are beginning to make, by next week now, because campaign starts on the 19th of August, there's just this week and next week in between the campaign windows. All the leading political parties will announce their campaign structures. The DG, the zonal coordinator, the state coordinators, the ward coordinators, the women leader, the youth leader, the people living with disabilities. They will announce everything. That's when you will now know that we have stepped into the election. We've not started feeling it now.
No, we've not started feeling it.
When campaign starts,
the reason we've not started feeling it, it's because only one party
is probably ready for the election.
Not just that, has been, has broken the campaign deadline, and even though they've not been physically out there on the streets and everything,
but we see
it, but now it's we're getting into the
in fact, there will be fewer stories on newspaper headlines now. Almost on daily basis, you see paid advertorials everywhere.
So we have to gear up for all of that.
So I'm also looking at Peter Obi wanting to come to the Southwest to pick his campaign DG. That is a major decision. So this is why Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, for some reasons, still command an unusual level of respect in Kano. The leader of the Kwankwasia movement, the first and the only minister of defense in the history of our democracy that does not have a military background. Remember, he was minister of defense under former President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yeah.
Former rep, senate, governor, minister. He's seen it and done it all. And he's one of the biggest philanthropists that we have in this country. He doesn't just do the regular stuff. He sponsors people for PhD courses in big universities around the world. He holds Kano. Even though he has moved into the NDC, he's now the vice presidential candidate of the NDC. And his son, the former commissioner, is now the deputy governorship candidate of the NDC at home. So he's holding the NDC as a party. He's still holding the NNPP, which is the NNPP is the biggest political party in Kano State. The governor had left the NNPP to join the APC. The Rabi Musa Kwankwaso had left the NNPP to join the NDC. So they've splitted their followership within the Kwankwasia movement. So you assume that even if Kwankwaso will not win Kano, he did it last. He got over 1 million votes as presidential candidate, but now Kano is splitted. There's a governor, many House of Reps members, 2 senators out of 3 are now in the All Progressive Congress. So you think that Kano could go either way. So Peter Obi, in the Southeast, there were places in the last election that Peter Obi had 96%. There were states where Peter Obi had 96%
Yeah,
votes.
yeah,
Now, it was absolute.
yeah,
So you assume that he's also going to hold on to his southeast.
yeah. So he needs someone to cover
Because
this
Peter Obi in the
area.
southeast was what cost the PDP the presidential election in the last election. All of the states that were traditional states for the PDP, Enugu, Imo, Peter Obi cleared everything. So he's thinking, in the southwest,
I need somebody
who
to cover
has that huge political clout. And it's not just political clout. You need to have the money to move. A campaign DG is not a small joke. Oh. It's not a small fry.
I know.
Do you understand? You dictate the entire structure of the campaign across the 36 states, especially if it's a presidential election, across the 36 states, across every of the 774 local government, across the over 87,000 polling units that we have in this country. So it's not just you being popular. Show low, can you chest an election? If money is not coming from the federal, can you put 10 billion on the table and say, guys,
Let's
on with
move.
these campaigns? So Peter Obi will have to look at the southwest and say, who can fund my election in the southwest? You get my point?
Who do you think is likely to pick?
See, it's going to be difficult. I didn't mean they were still in the ADC. I would have thought Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola would have been a good candidate. But Aregbesola had remained in the ADC.
ADC.
Right? And I won't be surprised if he becomes the campaign DG of Atiku Abubakar and Rotimi Amechi. So Peter Obi will be thinking that, who can I look as a DG? You look at Lagos. I'm not sure there's any huge NDC, heavyweights in Lagos. See, Tom, I'm not going to lie to you. And for everyone watching this morning, what I'm about to say is something I can defend anywhere, right? Peter Obi moving to the NDC is a major political setback.
True. I was just going to let you learn. It's a major political setback because, it's not a party that is deeply rooted. It's not a party that's established, in the way that, a Peter Obi, would be able to gather
You get my
momentum.
point.
Yes.
Especially when you are running against the incumbent.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to say that. So it's going to be a real struggle for him to cover a certain area. Now, who is that person that he's likely to choose? It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be very difficult.
It's going to be difficult.
You look at Ekiti. You look at Oyo.
It's going to be difficult.
You look like Osun. You look like Ondo. You look at Lagos and Ogun. I'm not sure the NDC has state structures in those places
yeah.
to look back and say, I want to pick a DG. Do you understand? Maybe, just maybe, for media hype, I don't know about political relevance. Maybe somebody like Chief Dele Momodu, for instance. But I don't know if Otuma has the money bag, to run a presidential election. Presidential election is no joke.
It's not a joke.
Hey. There's a reason why the Electoral Act allows you to spend 10 billion as a presidential candidate. That's what we have in the Electoral Act. 10 billion as a president. And that 10 billion, you must have spent it even before campaign starts.
But why are we cracking our heads thinking about what?
Campaign have started.
Yeah, but that's his problem to do.
So I'm sure they will have to look around and say.
I mean, when he was deciding to change
political
parties, you should have put that into consideration. Like you said, it's all about calculation.
Because if you were still
have to calculate all of that, way ahead of time.
It's not a small joke. That's why you cannot pick a random person to be your campaign DG. Your campaign DG determines the direction of your entire electoral journey. And that's a fact. There are decisions that your campaign DG will not even consult you before it takes it. He's just going to say, this is the best interest of the campaign movement. Let us do this. So you look at the Southwest, who can pull that weight? Even when you go to the South, you look at the Southeast, you look at the North, perhaps. But you cannot pick a campaign DG from the zone where your vice presidential candidate is coming from. You can't. Well, we keep our fingers crossed. I would always say on this show.
Like that's the very best we can really do.
By next week, the parties will have to release.
By next week, everything will unfold. So why are we now? I don't understand. We're taking part.
No, so that when they will now say,
someone
we
else
mentioned this name. So this name was.
Oh, so that's why you're doing all the mental.
It's foresight.
I don't need that. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. All right, still on the Punch newspaper. I would like to, for us to take a break after we do the Punch newspaper. I need to drink some water. Labour gives federal government August 11th ultimatum over wage award. 30 years after Atlanta Gold have not been rewarded. Bonfrey. Who is
Joe
Bonfrey Joe?
That's
Is
the
it Bonfrey
coach.
Joe?
Yeah, Bonfrey Joe. That's the coach that led us to gold medal at Atlanta
I
96
know
Olympics.
Bonfrey Joe very well.
He said they have not
I
given
know
him.
Bonfrey Joe. I know Westerhoff.
And Westerhoff that took us to USA 94 and
Yes.
gave us the AFCON title. It's not over 30 years after that they gave them the money they promised.
No,
The house is the
honestly, this is not. This is really not good enough. I mean, why should this man be owed 30 years after? I mean, doesn't make any sense really. If we have so much money, in circulation at a particular level, I don't know why people who have, done so much for Nigeria, why are they not being rewarded? Why is it? Why is it being, stepped down? Why? I think this is not fair because Bonfrey Joe was, I mean, those days I used to watch football, I didn't have a
And they
choice.
gave us the glory moment.
Yes, and football was so interesting at the time. We had a team. We had a team that was worth sitting down, and watching. And, my husband used to watch a lot of football at the time, and yeah, it was interesting. And this man did very well. At least I know I remember him. I remember him. I can see him as we speak. And I don't think it's a good thing, to be owing him money 30 years after. We have two picture stories. Two pictures on the front page of the Punch newspaper. I'm not about to go into that. I'm not going to do that. All right, right now we'll take a break, and when we return, there'll be more newspapers for you. What's happening to the calls? Our callers are not coming forth this morning.
They will call.
We want the calls
They
to
will.
come.
They
We
will.
want the calls to come.
Maybe they wanted us to just take some lead stories,
Yeah.
and so that when they
So
call,
that
they
we
do the
say-
birthday
yeah, like-
greeting, and then they'll something. Yes, now.
Okay, stop. All right, we'll take this break and we'll return shortly.
In Biggie's house, there's no place to hide.
You're welcome back. We had to take that well-deserved break, Okay, so okay, I'm sure you feel better now. You've had your water.
Very better. Very better.
Okay, so take the next
But I
newspaper.
can actually be better. But I'm sure that by the time we are
Okay.
almost the end of the show, I'll be better. Because the number of people we have on the production decks today, I'm shocked. Almost times 3 of the people we used to have. But we know
Okay,
ourselves.
You're troublesome.
We know ourselves. We'll remove the people that are not supposed to be here.
You're very
Hey,
troublesome.
look at the Nation newspaper.
Okay.
2027, Makinde leads Oyinlola Fayemi on visit to Obasanjo. That is on page 31. Makinde leads Oyinlola and Fayemi on visit to Obasanjo. And I'm going to take you on this one. There are always questions around political relevance,
Yeah.
in and outs, influence, especially when it comes to election. I saw Kayode Fayemi, and maybe he's not doing his fallout with the president the way Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola is doing his own. But obviously, Kayode Fayemi had fallen out with the president. He's actually, been hobnobbing with the oppositions. At some point, it was with the ADC and all of that. But visiting Obasanjo, Seyi Makinde is the presidential candidate of APM.
Yeah.
Does that make any difference for you?
For me, it doesn't make any difference because truth of the matter is, and please pardon me for want of a better word, Obasanjo really doesn't have any clout
political
like that.
patronage
He doesn't have
as much
in
he
politics.
used to.
And don't forget that he on his own tore his PDP
Membership.
membership card at the time. So for me, that was like opting out. You know, the Yorubas have an adage. They say, when you say goodbye,
Let it be goodbye.
let it be goodbye. Don't come back and say, I'm back, oh, good morning, oh,
Only
or I'm
see,
here, oh, you
there will
know.
not be
It's-
respect
exactly,
anymore.
that's the thing. So when you want to rate yourself as a political bigwig, in my opinion, it doesn't really carry any weight. But perhaps maybe they're just going there to get an old man's blessing, because
Exactly.
that, for
Or
me,
maybe to officially
or to officially inform
him.
him, so that it won't be as if, you know, they did it, you know, without, you know, according him that respect, you know. But if they, I mean, what are they going to get from it, really? You know, what are they going to get from it? I just think perhaps it's just courtesy, you know, to say, you know, we acknowledge the fact that you were once a president,
and you're still an elder statesman.
and you're an elder statesman. You're once a head of state. You're an elder statesman. You have, you know, you have a voice that can be heard in terms of, you know, advices, encouragement, and all of that.
But beyond
but
that,
beyond that, Omo,
nothing.
that's where it ends.
Nothing.
That's where it ends completely.
Because
So
I remember when Iyabo Obasanjo wanted to go for a second term in the Senate. There's a polling unit at the Obasanjo private library, right?
Yeah,
Iyabo
that's
Obasanjo lost that polling unit.
so I
Do you
mean,
get?
yeah,
She lost the polling unit in front of her father's library, inside her father's library. She lost the
Inside
polling
that
unit.
complex.
Inside the
Inside that-
same
yeah, that's-
complex.
yeah.
Do you understand? So I understand, just like, and I agree with you. It's probably just saying, okay, officially,
Yes.
I'm going to be on the
Let's give
ballot.
respect to
It's
whom
not like,
respect
it's not like
is due.
Obasanjo will wake up today and say vote for, or I say I'm endorsing this kind of person. I think we moved on, and times move very fast.
But okay, let's actually look. Let's look at something. And you know, I'm not making mockery, you know, but in politics, there are some things that when you see them, you just start to wonder how people are wired. You know, when you actually know that you really don't stand a chance, you know, in a particular race. It's just like me. Well, as God will have it, I was both a sprinter and a long distance runner, but that's really rare, you know. But so for somebody who was a sprinter, you know, going to enroll for 1,500
Or marathon.
or
You know it's
marathon
not your
race,
take.
you know it's not
You
your
gas
take.
out. You're on a quick fix person.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't, sometimes when I look at certain politicians, you know, they just seem to me like clowns, really, you know. And for me, you know, a man like Makinde, you know, I have had so much respect for Makinde up until a point, and I don't know why that always happens. When I have respect for certain people within the political
And
space,
somehow,
and they do one thing that brings them down a bit, they continue to
decline.
be on the decline. In my eyes, in my opinion, I'm asking myself, you know, this race, did you enter it because you know you will win? Why did you enter it? Did you enter it to make a mockery of yourself? I mean, it's, for me, it's so embarrassing when they're counting tens and thousands of votes for one person, and,
and
then
then
they're
they see
counting
19,300 for you, a presidential candidate.
I
In
mean,
a country
things like
of
that.
almost 11,
Exactly.
almost 97 million eligible voters.
Exactly. Why don't you just let it go?
You know, it's not out of order to be ambitious. Fact.
It's not
you
out
have
of
your
order.
right to run for political office. Showore is there now. Showore, before election, is the national president, is the national chairman of the party. Weeks to election, he will resign as the national chairman, become the presidential candidate of the party. After the election, he will go back to become the national leader of the party. So he does that over and over again. So, you know, when the issue of the abduction in Oyo State happened, and Governor Seyi Makinde came out to say that he's suspecting political, calculation or political witch hunt in that abduction, where he said he declared his presidential ambition at 4 p.m. and by 9 a.m. the following day, adoption happened. I think that was the point where I know that Governor Seyi Makinde may have been the governor of Oyo State, one of the best they've had in modern history. But in terms of national politics, it sounds like a neophyte, like someone that is a greyhound that does not understand how these structures work. The APM is a party, and there are only two of them in the APM, significantly so. The governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, the outgoing governor of Bauchi State, He had also joined Seyi Makinde. No, he went to the APM weeks before Seyi Makinde joined the APM. So Seyi Makinde's faction of the APM has a collaboration, a merger with a faction of his own PDP. Do you understand? So his anointed candidate to replace him in the Oyo State is running the ticket of APM and PDP in the 2027 election. You get my point? So on that basis, Seyi Makinde is thinking that even if I will not win this presidential election, but I'll be a spoiler for you in the Southwest here. Give and take. Seyi Makinde will have a pocket of votes in Lagos. Probably pull a couple of thousands in Oyo State, where is the outgoing governor. Maybe Ekiti left, and here and there. So it's not like he thinks he's going to win the election. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Seyi Makinde, I'm not God, and I can't predict tomorrow. But when it comes to the ballot conversation, we know where we are going to. Do you understand? At the end of the day, it's probably going to be a 4-horse race or a 3-horse race going into the election. But there would always be spoilers. There will be people that say, let me continue to talk in case there's a negotiation that comes. Oh yeah, your ambition, come. Oh yeah, when this administration comes, you will give us 2 ministers. We'll also nominate you for ambassador. So some people go into this. I had friends that contested for SUG president in school, and they knew the people in their villa cannot vote for them. But if you check their profile, they will say former presidential aspirant, former SUG presidential aspirant. Yes, now that's what they say now.
Let me tell you a story. You know, when you talk, I mean, this is on a lighter mode or note rather. I remember there was a point in my first son's life, my first child and first son. And he came to me and said, oh, he didn't want to go to school anymore, that he wanted to sing. He wanted to go into music. And I said, you know me, I came out ranting and everything. And then someone advised me and said, you better calm down, You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Calm down and play the fool. So I said to him, you know what? I don't know why I lost my head, I should have just, encouraged you because this is what you have a passion for. So why don't you come? He said he had a partner. They were in the studio already. They was, trying to do something. I said, bring him home, and let's sit down and listen to you guys. And let's see how I can push and promote your works, So he brought the guy home. And, then they started singing. I told his siblings, to sit. Daddy, of course, was not around. And they kept singing, and the guy, I said, what aspect of music? Writing, directing, which one? He said singing. Okay, so sing. What kind of music? They said it's freestyle. Okay, so do the freestyle. Then the guy started singing, and then my son took over. In fairness, I'm a very truthful person. In fairness, the guy could sing, but my son,
he will not buy the record.
That's the bottom line. That's where we're going. I know. So please continue. I would not buy the record for free. That's the point. So
that's problem. If your own people cannot support,
I told him better go back to school.
We better go back to school. That's whose house don't you want
for. Whose house don't you want to go to school? And thank God, all of that is history now.
Yeah. So the Nigerian politician would always come out at the end of the day when they are profiling themselves, they will say former presidential candidates. Or so and so party. No, if they go to check the record, your name will be there.
It will
the
be
number
there.
of votes you had would also be there. So I think that's what a lot of them are also pushing out for. But again, a lot of questions have been asked. That really, even in the Southwest,
really make sense?
It doesn't.
Because you have the name, but you don't have the clout, you don't have the respect that you used to have. The kind of support that you used to have is all gone.
Well, let's see if he's going to be able to, well,
let's see. We never can tell. Never say never.
Never will never on this one. NEC approved $4.5 billion Gazelle 2 facility to finance loans. And on 2027 conversation, we must secure victory, says Hope Uzodinma. Office of the Citizens in the arms of Morpheus. So this is on Osun 2026 election. Governor Hope Uzodinma is saying that his party, the APC, must secure victory in the August 15th election in Osun State. Shettima state should compete on job creation and investment.
Sorry to take you back, okay? His party must. Do you think that that is good communication or bad communication? Because I expect a man with so much experience, to say my party will. When you say must, then you're telling me that you're confirming the statement that the president
All
made.
is fair in politics.
Yes, all is fair in politics.
No, it's sometimes a confidence statement. How you do it is what the law would interpret after the election.
Exactly.
But I'm sure a lot of them will go into the polls with every Sheyma Kini that picked up form as president. He will tell you he can win.
He will tell you he
will
can
tell you
win.
he will win
tell,
the
he will
election.
yes, so it's fine to say you will, but when you say you must, honestly, that word is a bit too weighty, and I think it should be reviewed.
All right, the vice president is charging governors to compete on job creation and investment as Delta secures businesses with 13 billion naira. National policing bill gets 7-week action plan. Working group opens portal for public input. It's Tinubu's most consequential reform. Interesting. Kano Central Senator Hanga dumps NDC as JAM targets digital reforms. Kano Central Senator Hanga dumps NDC. And that is the only non-APC senator left in Kano. Now he's left the NDC. So you have a governor. Out of over 20 House of Reps members, you have 9 already. You have your 3 senators and all your commissioners. It's going to be very interesting. And I've always said it. Kano is going to be a very, very interesting state to look forward to in the 2027 election. Well, UAE deepens Africa's ties with $71 billion investments. That is still on the Nation newspaper. So there is the governor of Ekiti State, Governor Biodun Yebanji, the former governor of the state, His Excellency Peter Odele Fayose, the first lady of the state, the former PDP governorship candidate of the state, Eleka, and of course the Ewi of Ado Ekiti, the paramount ruler, when at the official commissioning of Ayodele Fayose Lodge. So the current governor, is naming certain monuments in the state after former governors. He did Fayemi's own last week. He did Fayose's own yesterday. So maybe Segun Oni will be the next. Then there's also going to be Adede Adebayo. I don't know what Governor Biodun Yebanji is doing in the Ekiti State, but it seems to be redefining politics, but maybe in a way he's silencing opposition in the state. Because Fayose is a PDP person. Eleka was the one that contested against Governor Biodun's first term. Do you understand? That is in 2022. All of them now are sharing podium. Segun Oni, former governor, has gone to the APC. Adebayo Adeniyi, the first governor in 1999, I think he's even an ambassador, if I'm not mistaken. He was a minister under Buhari's administration. So it looks like there's no counter opinion in the Ekiti State. The governor has used Idobale to finish everybody. The likes of Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, Ayo Arise, Chief Afe Babalola, Senator Olowo, all those big opposing voices in Ekiti. Everybody is singing the praise of the governor. They are waxing lyrics about the governor.
See, for me, this is how politics should be played. This is politics at its peak. Anyone
at
who,
the purest form.
I'm telling you, anyone who wants to understand how to play politics should go and learn from this man. You see, when you've captured a particular place, the next thing to do is to try to see how to appease people, bring them onto your side. This is not about gri-gri or gra-gra. No. Just do it and do. Look, the man is a smooth operator, if you ask me. He understands the workings of politics. Of
course.
Not all the noise. We have too much noise being made out there.
Noise without content.
Wike should come and learn from somebody who understands politics.
Still don't touch yet.
Wike should come and learn from someone who understands how to play politics. It's not about the big manism. It's not about the grandstanding. No. This is politics at its best. Before you know it, you're on his side. Because he has lured you, he brought you by kindness, by good deeds, by thoughtful words and all of that, he's brought you to his side. I mean, people should, I mean, for me, this is a masterpiece. And I believe he's going to go places. You see, all the things that he's doing now, when he eventually leaves there, they will do much more for him.
Sure.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah, we're done with the Nation,
newspaper. What's happening to the calls? Our callers have not been coming. The calls have not been coming. Where is Mr. Taiwo?
Let's invite them.
Let's start calling their
Let's
names
invite them.
one at a
They'll
time.
join in. 0707-380-0959. You can join the conversation. We've talked about a lot of stories here.
Yes.
And if there's anyone that you want to comment on,
Please
or just want to send a very special birthday greetings to Tom, see, let's enjoy the moment today. And that's the fact. Celebrate people while they are still with you. It makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm sure the calls will come in. I'm sure the calls will definitely come in. And let's check the Vanguard.
Okay, looking at the Vanguard, FCCPC seeks uniform consumer protection as states open electricity markets. 2027, Nigerians, not Obasanjo, will decide election. This is coming from the ADC.
Of course.
Very similar to what we just talked about, but it's the truth. The truth wears no disguise. Okay, Economic Summit. Shatima, Okonjo, Iweala, Elumelu, others seek investments for Delta. I pity Tinubu, but more concerned for Nigeria. This is coming from Olawepo Hashim. Nigerians' quality of life took us to Tinubu. And this is coming from Onayeko. It says, we're done talking, tells president to govern better.
Well,
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think that's like the biggest story in Nigeria right now. Cardinal John Onayeko, the retired Archbishop of the Abuja, Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So, the Council of Catholic Bishops paid a visit to the president last week. And during that visit, concerns were raised as regards the state of the nation, security concerns, our religious sensitivity along candidacy, the Muslim ticket conversation. There were a lot of issues that were discussed. And so while the president was responding, the president talked about the fact that, I didn't run away, I didn't shy away from the problems that I met. I'm doing my best to work on those problems. The president also came out to make reference to the NYSC. Students have not been on strike for 4 years now. Your children are at home. So he said all of those things, trying to highlight, what his administration has been up to. Then at the end of it, he now made mention of something that I'm not going to allow myself to be pushed back by the opposition. If they want this power, we'll fight for it to the end. All is fair in politics. And so that was where the bone of contention came out from.
Yep.
And the people started questioning the rationale behind a Democrat saying
Making
all
such a
is fair
statement.
in politics.
All means that anything you do, any which way you decide to
It's
go about
just
it,
like a
it
redefined
is
way
fair.
of Obasanjo saying politics is do or die in 2007 election. So the president and one of the fathers of modern democracy in Africa, one of the individuals that stood at the forefront of our fight for democracy, pressuring the military, even went into exile at some point, funding Nadeco, funding Radio Kudirat, doing the best he could. He's now in office, participating in an election, and he's coming out to tell us that all is fair in politics. If you go memory lane, the phrase all is fair in love and war came as far back as the 18th century. And what it means is this, is that in war, as long as you and I are fighting, you cannot tell me what I will use to fight you.
Yes.
If me and you are fighting physical, and
go-
my hand cannot grab you, I can look for
go
2 by
any
2.
length, yes.
I can look for a rod, and so. But if
And it is going to be judged fair.
yes, but times have changed. If you look at modern war now, you start hearing things like genocide.
And you have courts that
You
would,
start seeing the International Criminal
national
Court.
criminal courts, that
But-
will judge, certain
Yes.
cases. So
you
all is
start
not
seeing people saying that, during war, you should not attack children. You should not attack women. You should not attack where families are in school. So there are now rules of engagement in war situations.
Yes, that's right.
On the issue of all is fair in love, it means that then to get a woman's attention, you have to do everything within your control and power to get her love and affection. All of that is changing as well. People are now talking about equality on the table, 50-50 sharing cooperation.
Yes,
so things are changing.
Generation, your generation,
yeah, things are changing. So the president cannot tell us that all is fair in politics. If all is fair in politics, then we don't need INEC.
Exactly.
That means everybody should go to the polls, because it's basically just saying that you have to use what you have to get what you need.
Or what you want.
And that thing that can include intimidation. That can be between stealing ballot boxes, stealing beavers, voters intimidation, using security, telling people that if you are not from this region, you cannot vote in this place. Disenfranchising people on election day. So if the president that is supposed to use the opportunity to commit to free, fair, and credible election in this country, and I'm throwing it as a challenge to everyone listening today, in the last 3 years plus of this administration, if you have seen where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had come out to say that I am committed to free and fair election, please share it with us. The president should have used that opportunity to say, Nigerians, I am promising you that my legacy beyond public infrastructures would also be delivering a free, fair, and credible election. But the president said all is fair in politics. All cannot be fair in politics. No. There are rules of engagement. There are rules that must be followed. People must not be disenfranchised. You must not use state instruments to victimize the opposition because you are incumbent, because you appointed the INEC chairman, because you pay the salary of INEC, you approve the budget of INEC, you pay the Inspector General of Police salary, you do everything. Does not mean that all is fair in politics. There has to be balance. Do you understand?
So Okpe, the thing is that, we've often said that, communication from the presidency leaves much to be desired. Whether it's coming through his senior special advisors, whether it's coming through his spokesperson, whether it's coming directly from him, I do know that certainly they could communicate better, far better than they are already doing. And you see, the words people speak are very, very important it's important rather to ensure that the words we speak, have been processed, have been weighed, before we let them out.
And it's
really
the abundance of the heart,
the mouth speaks. And that's correct. And so it is important to check what you're saying. What effect would it have on the people who are about to hear what you said? Is it going to touch on people's nerves? How will they receive it?
Is it going to bring hope to them?
It would have been, like Okpe rightly said, a great opportunity, because we don't often hear the president speak. So the very, very, very rare occasions, very once in a while occasions that he speaks, it would have been a good thing if it was actually addressing Nigerians, even if it was just in 3-4 sentences, to say, fellow Nigerians, we understand the way things are going. Elections are coming. We are pretty close. Things will get better. We're preparing, gearing up for elections. It is my intention, to ensure that free, credible, just as Okpe said, I don't want to, repeat what he said. But here, a president sits comfortably, and just says anything he wants to say. And it's the norm in Nigeria. And we're supposed to take these things hook, line, and sinker, run with it, digest it, and, be okay and be happy. No. Some people will come back and say, Mr. President, there could be a better way to communicate with your people, especially because, these people lack in so many things. These people have been striving, have been struggling, have been suffering. You cannot be telling them that all is fair in politics. So any which way, there's some people that are, it's like they're just sitting on a keg of gunpowder waiting to explode. And what you've done is you've just given them the go ahead. You know what? Explode as much as you want. Some people are at the verge of, killing other people because of frustrations, and you say to them, all is fair in politics. Hello? Nobody is going to care whose ox is God. So we must really be careful about the things we say and the effect it has on people. You know, it's really important, Mr. President.
So on
you
Friday,
just blew that chance.
Bishop Onayeko was on national TV, and he says that the body language of the president did not receive their criticism well. Do you understand? Yes, he said it. That it looks like the president was not really comfortable with the fact that they were telling him that perhaps the people around the president have not been telling him, the right things they should say.
Oh.
And then the presidency replied that Archbishop Onayekon is abusing clerical privileges. That I should count it lucky that the president gave them audience. In the
But that's so wrong.
Yeah.
That's so wrong.
So the presidency said it's a closed door meeting. But the archbishops came out and said that there's nothing closed about the meeting. You were the ones that released the first statement that the president said. So if Archbishop Onayeko had gone on TV to wax lyrics about the president, to say, oh, the president is doing well, he's on track, let us support him, will the presidency call it abuse of privileges? Abuse of clerical privileges?
Well, I'm trying to, quickly understand, this information. Okwe, he's very, very, on point. And then I want to look and analyze this situation. I'm not quite sure whether this is a democracy or a dictatorship. Because how do you now judge a religious personnel because he has expressed the truth in his opinion?
They said it's abuse of
You say it's an abuse of clerical privileges, a big name, for a tiny action. Mr. President, you're supposed to be available to everybody, to me, to the man on the street if he wants to see you. That's the truth. Any which way, you should be available, because when you needed these people, they were there for you. Don't come and, be like the president is a god. No, you are a president, the father of, the way Abraham was in the biblical days. That's the way you are, sir, to every one of us. You are our father. We should be able to communicate with you. Okwe has said it on this table, how he will tell his father that, I remember you said when one of your tenants did something, you told your father, you said, but you were the one who spurred her on.
Yes, now.
You were the one who encouraged her. I mean, this is a son telling the father the truth. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong in it. The only thing is be polite about it. Now, let's look at the way the Archbishop presented, these facts to you. Was he rude to you? In Okwe's opinion, was he rude? Did it sound rude? He wasn't rude. If he wasn't rude, he has every right, sir, to tell you the truth. Why do we always want to be praised? Why do we? And that's why we're not doing well as leaders, because we always want the sycophants to thrive, to tell us the things we want to hear.
Even one of the closest allies to the president, Senator Jules Okalu, also came out to say that there's nothing wrong in the Catholic bishops visiting the president. 1, 2. He said there's also nothing wrong in the Catholic bishop expressing the state of the nation to the president.
I mean, is that not what we do
when
here?
I saw the video.
We're bringing it to your attention, Mr. President. That's what we're doing.
So the spokesperson
appreciate it.
The spokesperson of the president says that the president reads minimum of 10 newspapers every day. The full statement that they released.
Really?
That the president also watches roundtable discussions on TV, that he comments on them, that he calls some of those people for clarification. So if people came to me, religious leaders or not politicians, selected by their people to say, election is coming, let us talk to the president how we feel. And then the presidency, when I read those statements.
When a religious leader is telling you to govern better, isn't that something that is good? I mean, because we all know anyway that we are imperfection. We are the word imperfection. There's no human being who is perfect. If Mr. President thinks he's perfect,
why does he have assistant if he knows it all?
If he's perfect,
why does he have advisors if he knows
and
it all?
Why do people say, oh, the president cannot do everything? If Mr. President is perfect, then he should be able to do everything. But if somebody comes and tells you, we have had people criticize us on this program, on this table, telling us this is the way they want us to do these things. We have not come out to tell them that they don't know what they're talking about, that they're abusing their privileges, because we have thrown the lines open. No, we have appreciated them, and we have, where necessary, tried to clarify certain things. In other cases, we just explain to them that, we're just simply doing our jobs. But we have not seen them in any less a way, than they are. Mr. President, that's not a good way to rule if you don't want to hear the truth. People telling you, and this man is in his own capacity, he's
a leader.
He's a leader. And
millions of followers.
He's leading millions of followers as well. So, in my opinion, Adetung, I don't see anything wrong with what he's done and what he's said. I think it's to your credit, Mr. President. I think it's to your credit. It's something for you to look at and work on, because perhaps even in reading the papers, sometimes we may not understand certain things. On this table, I said to Okwe, please read it again. I didn't quite get it. And he reads it again.
The part where I find the most interesting with reading the newspaper is this. It's either the copies of newspaper that the president reads is different from the one we analyze every day.
Perhaps.
Because if the president read the newspaper of yesterday, where they said over 10 trillion have been spent on the power sector, where they said billions have been spent and over 6,000 primary healthcare centers are non-functional. If the president had read the number of people that are getting killed every day, and he truly reads newspapers.
And now that's on the one side. And then you now get somebody to say to you, Mr. President, govern better. Which one is more weighty?
Somebody looking at you eyeball to eyeball and say, Mr. President, we are a non-political group.
Exactly.
But we're simply saying that our people are dying. Their security concerns. See, I always told you that we don't have new problems in this country.
Our monies are missing. Bonfrey Joe has not been paid
accountability
30 years after. Nobody's accounting.
And then the handlers of the president came out to say that the archbishops are abusing clerical privileges. In fact, and some of the supporters of the president have said that the president should not grant religious leaders audience again, as if it's a cult group.
Okay, sometimes I actually wonder if there's something about walking into Aso Rock and, not just as a visitor, but as somebody who as a part of the leadership of Nigeria. Because I remember when a very popular television personality was in Aso Rock, and prior to his assuming office there, he was a completely different person.
Sure.
He was the kind of person that we could relate with. He was coming from our background. He understood the pains. He wore the shoes. He knew where those shoes were pinching. And we were so excited that he was going into Aso Rock, that he would be our voice, in that place. But the minute he got there, it was a completely different ballgame. 360 degrees.
So they started defending what they were criticizing.
And
when
then,
they were outside.
And then all of a sudden,
wonder,
the time will tick away gradually, and it will
4
go.
years or 8 years,
and then 8 years will go, and then you're now back on a seat. And then what?
Nothing.
And then what?
Nothing.
And then you now have to start to explain, it wasn't like this, it was like that.
I received too many calls. I think one of the spokespersons of the president, the last administration, I think Jonathan or first time of Buhari came out to say that when they were in office, that he received minimum of 200 to 300 calls every day. But now that he's out of office, that his phone hardly rings.
Of course, that happens.
Because when you are out of power, when you leave power, power leaves you.
Of course.
That is why Nigerian politicians want to die on this power pursuit. Because they know
from
that even
governorship to Senate, to Senate, to Senate, to Senate.
2 years out of government, he's telling us that he's hungry.
I mean,
That is the biggest mockery I've heard him. All of a sudden, you want to become one of our own. You want to feel the pulse of the people. The same
How?
people you were riding like king. I told you the story of Alhaji Lai Mohammed.
You told me that at the hotel.
I was at an
One of-
event.
At an event.
You know, we had a break. I said, let me just take a walk to the lobby. And I saw Alhaji Lai Mohammed sitting at the lobby all alone. Nobody, no security, nobody even noticed. So I went to meet him, and as the Omoluabi that I am, I prostrated, chest down. And I'm sure he was shocked that, oh, so somebody actually recognized me here, and that's how power is. On the day, on his time as minister in this country, the DSS that would have surrounded the lobby, what would he even be doing at the lobby?
I wish I could get...
What would he be doing at the lobby?
Exactly. I wish I could get recordings from back in the day where, prior to when he took up the assignment as a minister, when Lai Mohammed would be on the breakfast show with me, and he would keep hitting at the government in power at the time. Little did I know or imagine that one day he will get in there and do
Everything changed.
complete turnaround. And that's why I'm talking about this power thing. What is in there that makes people
what is
change?
there? What do you? Why?
Okwemi, I can't change. And I'm never going to test it at that level because I don't want to. Don't give me any appointment. I won't take it. But I'm saying that if I was to take an appointment, I will be who I am. I cannot change. I can only change for the better anyway. I mean, I won't leave my people. Okwe won't come and say, I don't know Okwe. Come on now. Okwe won't call me and I'll say, oh, I'm too busy to pick his call. The least I could do is send Okwe a message. I'm at a meeting now. Call you in 20 minutes. Hello? That's just courtesy. Because guess what? The ladder you used to climb up, if you kick it,
when you want to come
you
down,
will fall.
jump.
You will fall.
And it depends on how high you've gone. You will
Exactly.
jump and your leg will break.
That's it.
And I see.
Then you want to come and now sit with us that have been here.
You know, so you remember us.
Now we are now comfortable. We have a hang of
when
it.
we were reaching out to you for information as journalists, we didn't matter. And I'm even so the whole thing is just playing out in my head right now.
There are some people I'm waiting
I
for.
remember there was a commissioning. I remember there was a commissioning back then where Alhaji Lai Mohammed came to represent the president or something. I think one of the wing of the airport or so. I went to cover the event. Because he came in and then there was the DSS, there was immigration, you could barely even smell or come close to the minister when he was the spokesman of the government. He was everywhere. Minister of Information, actually. In fact, when he was the spokesperson of opposition before they won election in 2015, every single day, it was the one that came out with the word that Jonathan was clueless. There was nothing Alhaji Lai Mohammed did not say. When he was minister, he was Lord Mano, a personal Lord and uncheckable savior. So I was shocked. When I just saw the man, I said, he still had his identity, that cap.
His cap.
So it's not like people were just coming in randomly. Nobody even noticed he was there. You could see the shock on his face.
I remember
when
this man
frustrated.
coming to the program and he was screaming blue mother, spitting fire and brimstone about Aregbesola, what he did to him when he went to Osun State, how hostile he was to them, how he locked them out, how he did this, how he did that. Little did I know that one day power was going to change hands and bam, he was going to be the same person
Of course.
that he had criticized. You know, I don't get it, but I just think it is people who don't understand values. If you have values, you know, there's absolutely nothing else that you'll be able to give out but values, the same values that you have. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Honestly, and that's the way I see it. That's my take right now on this. Why is time going so fast? It's 10:18 already.
And because the time is waiting for post-show enjoyment.
All right.
The way the calendar is also running, maybe the year is waiting for the 2027 election.
Well,
and
yes,
the time is slow today. Oh. Very slow.
Very slow.
Very slow. It should have been done by now.
All right. So, yeah, Mr. President, one more word for you. I mean, it's a good thing when you have people criticize you constructively. Just say thank you and try and work on it. PFIPC, allow me testify. I'm being made scapegoats. This is coming from Adeyemi. 6, administrative clearance to appear before reps panel. We knew that it was going to be
the
like
before
this.
guy.
I mean, the script was so clear. We knew the end from the beginning, you know. It's not strange, but I mean, if he pleads, you know, to at least fair hearing, you know, I mean, I can't wait to see the report of the committee, of that panel.
I'm trying to understand what you are looking for. With
Because
fair hearing.
exactly, because I'm imagining what can be in it. I mean, what substance really when you don't get the people that you should? Am I thinking
like I
well?
said, I like the fact that it is not just the House of Reps ad hoc committee that is looking into the issue. You remember, we're also counting down 17 days now for ICPC. We're counting. 2 things I'm counting down for now.
And the Inspector General
days
of
to the
Police
election.
says that they're doing their investigations as well. So I hope we'll be getting a report
He's
from that.
also being charged to courts. So there is the courts, there is the Inspector General of Police, there is the ICPC, there is also the House ad hoc committee. So we want to see, maybe the reports would align, maybe the report will contradict each other, maybe the sentencing from the court will not be an interpretation to the findings of the House of Representatives or even the ICPC. We'll keep our fingers crossed. You know, one beautiful thing about life is that time and chance happens to everyone.
Everyone.
Your time will come. So we keep our fingers crossed. But if the man is crying blue mother saying that I want to be used as the scapegoat, the fall guy, we'll expect more. Maybe the ICPC will say 30 days is not enough.
Let's watch and see as it unfolds. You know, I always tell you that patience is a virtue, you know. We just be patient. We sit down here, Jaja, they'll bring it to us and we'll read it as it is. Okay, NEC approves refinancing of $3.3 billion project Gazelle to optimize cost, unlock additional liquidity. APC Adeleke clash over notorious criminals protection. Oyebanji unveils a 100-day agenda and targets workers' welfare. What Tinubu told me after staff member died in my residence. This is coming from Umahi. Do you have updates on that?
Yes. He said that the people were advising the president to sack him as minister. That the president told him to go on and continue to build more roads. That's what David Umahi said. That people were pressuring the president to sack him after it was revealed that one of the staff died in his house, a physiotherapist. And then he's saying that the president told him to go on and continue to build more roads. That's what he said. Those were his words. It's everywhere.
Okwemi, first of all, what happened to that story? We never concluded on it.
They buried him.
I know they buried
her.
her.
The family said they don't want to do any case. In fact, the family wanted to sue the police for withholding the corpse for autopsy. The family said they want to let the bed bury their dead. They want to bury their daughter and they want to move on real quick. We're not insinuating anything.
Nobody's insinuating
Nobody's
anything.
saying
But
anything, but the family said they don't want any case. The family said they should release the body to them. They don't want to do autopsy. They don't want to do anything. They just want their daughter to rest in peace. And in this case, you can't fault what the people want. It is their property. The dead body is not the property of the state. The only reason why a dead body can become a property of the state is if you are serving a life sentence and you die during that life sentence, your corpse belongs to the state. Your family will not collect it. Do you understand?
Well,
that's the only way. But if the family says they don't want autopsy, and the minister said that the president told him to continue building roads, that he's not going to sack him.
Well, if that's the way that case eventually ended, I just think that the minister should just be silent right now.
For now.
About all these things.
Don't do that.
Should be silent, completely silent. Don't even bring it to the fore. Don't play on people's intelligence. Listen, you see, sometimes when we think that we're winners, you know, we might as well be losers.
Of course.
We just might as well
we always
be
think that this one
losers.
favors you at this time.
You
the
know,
pendulum moved to your favor, Mutijelo, because I'm trying to understand that why would somebody wake up
I
and say
don't-
that the president said that they wanted him to sack you, but you should continue and build roads? What
I mean, in the
if
first
I
place,
were
you
to be
shouldn't even be
family?
talking about sacking. You should have said, you know what,
Let me step away
let me
for
step
now.
aside. That's honorable to do. So don't come thinking that we don't know. Some of us are not politicians and cannot understand the way
The
that
workings of
certain
politicians.
people in that cadre are thinking, and will never.
But
I
you
will
know,
never.
a lot of people are also insinuated that things may have gone, under the table and just said to this, so yeah, take this one.
Exactly,
compensate,
that's what
move
people
on.
will be thinking,
So
of
coming
course,
out
now.
to now come and say
That's
that
what I'm
the
saying, that
president
just
said he should
keep
continue to build
quiet.
it. Just keep quiet.
Keep quiet.
Because you're literally just feeling like you've won a
Exactly, in
battle.
your own opinion,
It
you've
was
won
never
it.
a battle.
I mean, it was never a
It was
battle.
a demand for accountability. How did somebody die in your house?
And you
It's as simple as that.
just like that.
Because the stories are even different. The person that the girl shares room with, like next neighbor to them in the same house,
Yeah.
because two of them were physiotherapists and they were assigned to the minister's house, said that it was another story.
that she heard.
She gave another story.
Oh, okay.
That the lady went to make her hair. She came back, said she was tired. She wanted to go sleep. The following day, she knocked on her door. She did not open, blah, blah, blah. They forced the door open. They met her dead body. But the minister said that the lady called him a few hours before, whatever. And he said that, oh, she's having a problem with her boyfriend, this and that. So we're having different competing stories on this particular case. But let's even say that whatever it is they may have happened. Maybe they were settlement, maybe they were commitment, maybe they were, whatever it was, they may have happened. Stop coming to make it look like you were about to be victimized. No. You are not. If this was not Dave Umahi, imagine it's just one random guy that he invited his girlfriend over. She now died in his house. Is this how they want to do the case?
I don't
Is this
know.
how they will handle the case?
I mean, Sonny
Even if
Okosu,
autopsy eventually unveils what killed the girl, you will first suffer first as a suspect.
I'm telling you,
Your eye will see
that
first.
if you will leave,
Exactly.
you would have been so tortured that you may even.
That's if mob action did not even kill you in the house
Exactly.
before police comes to arrest you.
I mean,
And then they now
fair
whatever
is
it was, they
fair.
now
Fair
saying
is fair.
that
And then you even have the. I mean, this kind of things should not even be happening.
coming on now,
I
you're
mean,
saying that the
we're
president
allowing
said you should
too much rubbish.
continue to build
You know, invade the space.
very
There's some
uncultured
people who want to be sane. There's some people who want, clear thoughts. But when these kind of things keep coming, it just distorts the whole thing. Mr. Minister, Honorable Minister, please, some people are more intelligent than all of these things that you're doing. All these petty things should not even be making the front pages of newspapers, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't want to end today on the program on a
it's going well
stressful
like this.
note
It's going
like
well
that.
well.
But we don't have the time. We have to round up right now. Time is not our friend, especially when you're having fun. Time will just keep flying. So we've come to the end of today's edition of the Breakfast Express show. Thank you so much for watching. I want to assume that there's a problem with
the phone
lines. I want to assume it's either that or regular callers decided to just sit back and watch the program, But whatever it is, we just want to thank you because we know that you are out there, and you're cheering us on. Thank you so much for being there. My time here is done today, but I'd like to hear from Okwe before we finally round up.
Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow will be the midweek edition of the show,
Yes.
Wednesday, the 5th of August, 2026. I will continue to count down to the general election. 167 days from today, Nigerians will go to the polls to choose who presides over them, either to consolidate on the gains of the All Progressive Congress or you change the status quo. Stay with us here. My name is Okpeyemi Akinde. Once again, happy birthday to you, to one of the best persons I've ever shared a session with. It's always a pleasure doing this with you every single day. I will do it again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for watching. My name is Tom Aderile, and before I leave, I would say to you, please go stand in front of a mirror. Take a thorough look at yourself. It's not about how beautiful or how handsome you look in the mirror, but do you think that there are things you need to change about you? If there are, then please change them ASAP so that the world will be a better place to live in. Thank you so much for watching the 4th of August edition of the Breakfast Extra
Special
Show.
edition.
It's a special edition.
Special edition.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Have yourselves a wonderful time. God bless you. And